Hi there, welcome back to the channel and another quick video. So today I have this .22 revolver that I am cleaning for a colleague. So a disclaimer before we go on is that this is a licensed firearm, and the aforementioned colleague is also present, so I most definitely am not in possession of or handling a firearm that I do not have a license for. Okay, so as you can see, this firearm hasn't been cleaned for a while. It hasn't been oiled. It's very tight. So lots of rust on it, obviously being stored without being oiled. So I'm not going to strip this down down to frame and all of that, because it's not it's not jammed or anything like that. It's just tight. But what I'm going to try to do quickly is just get rid of all of or as much of the rust that I can, and give it a blow down and a good cleanup and oil. So I'm going to start with trying to get the rust off the barrel and all of the moving parts. What I've decided to do is remove the cylinder, because it's a bit tight, so I want to clean up in there and clean the cylinder. So I'm going to remove the cylinder. I don't want to fiddle around there with this trigger part, because it's really fiddly. It's got 3 different pieces in there and 2 springs, so definitely you don't want to mess around in there. I'll take the grips off so that we can clean up properly inside, but let's just go ahead and pull off the cylinder at the moment. So there we go, that's the cylinder mechanism out. So I'll go ahead and now clean this. I'm going to give all of this a scrub down with benzene to get all of the old oil and all of that out. The trigger mechanism on this gun comes out with the cylinder screw, so you can see the mechanism in there, which is a good thing, because it allows me to get all of that. You can see there it's pretty gunked up, so it allows me to get all of that dirt out from there. I can blow it down with some compressed air and then some silicone spray. So I'm going to go ahead now and remove the grips. Then you can see what it looks like behind there. You can even see the screws rusted and dirt built up in it. You can see the spring there for the hammer. So I'm not going to open all of that, but you can see all that rust. So a good brush up and oiling will sort all of that out. It would be good to send this this revolver for rebluing, but let's see if my colleague wants to do that or not. So I'm going to go ahead now and start scrubbing this down with benzene. Let's see how it looks like after I've done that. So I'm probably not going to record that. Let's just see how it goes. So what I've put on it is benzene. I'm going to give it a good scrub with the benzene. I'm using benzene because the benzene won't take the blue off. So I'm just going to get all of that rust off there with I'm using a brass brush. It's not too coarse. It's not going to scratch the metal or anything like that. Starting to look better already. You can see the rust is coming off. Benzene evaporates very fast as well. This is the one that I'm really worried about. Once this jumps off, it's a finicky thing, and I really don't want to be doing that. So I don't want to be too aggressive on here. Once I oil, it'll get rid of that rust as well. So I've gotten rid of all the flaky loose stuff there. Then we can oil and sort that out. I'm just trying to get all in between there. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it. I'm going to go ahead and clean, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I've gone ahead now and cleaned it up as best as I could. That's all of the rust that's come off this gun. So it hasn't been cared for a long time. I'm going to go ahead now and clean inside the barrel and clean it with cleaning solvent. Then I'll blow it out first and then clean it with the cleaning solvent, and then I'll oil it up and put it all together. I've cleaned everything out now. Gotten as much of the rust off as I could. I didn't want to go too aggressive on it because I didn't want to scratch off the blue that's on there. This gun definitely has to go for a re-bluing because the corrosion is just going to go on and on. So I'm just going to oil as best as I can here. And then we don't have electricity, so I couldn't use the compressor to blow it out. So I've tried to clean out as best as I possibly could. Then I'm now going to go ahead and clean inside the barrel with solvent, and then we'll start oiling. I'm using a slightly worn out brush here because I don't have a small enough brush to fit inside that barrel. It's a 0.22, so obviously the barrel is very small. So I'm going to go ahead now and give it a clean and put some solvent onto the brush. It's an old brush, so I'm not too concerned about bending it, just so that I can get all the way into the barrel to clean. So what I'm doing now is just spraying it down with a multi-purpose lubricant. This is meant for guns, so just gonna get it in all over. I'm obviously gonna wipe this down because we can't have excess of oil floating around in the gun. It's dangerous. But I just wanted to penetrate all over. Just in case there's any rust that we haven't managed to clean out. This is going to go in and help stop that rusting process. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and just clean all of that off. Okay, so I've gone ahead and wiped up the lube that I've sprayed on. So I'm going to put this together. It's my son's birthday today, so the house is going to get pretty noisy pretty soon. So we'll start with the trigger guard. On this one, the trigger guard comes out with the cylinder assembly. So just make sure we're putting the cylinder in the correct way. So that's the cylinder. Go ahead and tighten it up. So the cylinder assembly is done. I'll put the grips on and then I'll give it an oil up and show you what it looks like, and that will be done with the video. Okay, there you have it. It's done. I've given it an extra coat of oil because it's going to be stored, but everything moves far easier now. As you can see there, cocks nicely. Trigger is pretty soft. You can see there. You can get your Russian roulette on there. Cylinder opens nicely, and it was catching when it closed, so I polished the ramp there a little bit so that it closes easier. So let's call that the end of this video. Thank you for watching this short little video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, share my videos. The more likes and shares you get, the more people get to see it. And from me, I'm out. Okay, as you can see, the damn. So you can see already starting to look. Focus where I'm doing, don't look elsewhere. Get in under there. Closer, closer. Okay, so I'm using a slightly worn out brush here because I don't have a bigger one that... shucks. I'm using a slightly worn out brush here because I don't have a brush that's... You're moving all over the place. I'm using a slightly smaller brush. I'm using a slightly worn out brush.